Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shuchem l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm Rabbi Susan Abramson, coming to you from the sanctuary of Temple Shalom Emeth in Burlington, Massachusetts. Tonight is supposed to be our Sisterhood Shabbat service, but because of the events of this week, I felt that we needed to postpone that to a different time, and in order to address and respond to and have a service of healing and comfort following the events of this week. So I'm recording my remarks the day after the failed insurrection at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., where hundreds of people, at the request of the President of the United States, stormed the building while Congress was in session, meeting to authorize the results of the 2020 election. Members of Congress had to lie flat on their stomachs while rioters roamed the halls of this building, overpowering an ill-prepared police force. They were forced to evacuate to a safe shelter while security drew their pistols and piled furniture against the doors to stave off the intruders. This shameful behavior of a crowd who had been whipped into a frenzy by a sitting president is so unbelievable and egregious that it will doubtlessly be viewed as one of the low points in our nation's history. Hundreds of American citizens displaying unmitigated hatred, a total disregard for the rule of law, using violence as a tactic, spouting racism, xenophobia, intolerance, encouraged and goaded by the leader of our country. As I speak, we are fearful of what other despicable actions may be taken before President Biden is sworn into office. Many people, myself included, have said that this is not America. But unfortunately, when we think about it, this is America. It is also human nature. A charismatic leader emboldens his faithful followers to take to the streets in order to stay in power. Mob mentality takes over, and many are swept up into the fray. I can't help but think that this is how Hitler was able to come to power so easily. This week we begin a new Torah portion, in Hebrew called Shemot, which means names. It begins the story of Moses and the beginning of the story of the Israelite nation. What kind of name do we want to make for ourselves and our country right now? What kind of nation, Israelite nation, do we want to be? What is our obligation in this moment as bystanders to these unthinkable crimes? Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel used to say, "On three things does the world stand, on justice, on truth, and on peace." And Rabbi Hillel said, in a place where no one is acting like a human being, be the human. What kind of name do we want to make for ourselves right now? What is our obligation? To stand up and be counted among those who defend our democracy and our principles. I'd like to continue with a reading by Rabbi Neil Amswich, which he wrote for this occasion. Let us be the ones. When rage and violence blight this land, let us be the ones who exemplify calmness and kindness. When democracy is attacked, let us be the ones who defend life and liberty. When voices of selfishness speak, let us be the ones who listen to voices of decency. When fear is spread, let us be the ones to bring comfort. When division is fostered, let us be the ones to unite. When civility is threatened, let us be the ones to protect it with our words and deeds. When decency is reviled, let us be the ones to embrace it. When evil in the human heart expresses itself, let us be the ones who reveal humanity's goodness. And if not now, when? So as we begin our Shabbat this evening, we can be comforted by the fact that our democracy, our elected officials, people of goodwill, have prevailed. Our country is still intact. Our leaders are redoubling their efforts to make sure our laws and principles will continue to be upheld. They continue to demonstrate the wisdom, the courage, and the resolve to stand up to those who have attempted to thwart and subvert our principles. So let us all take a big, deep breath and welcome Shabbat, a time of peace and a time of joy as we continue our service. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with our band singing Holy Ground.
Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place, everywhere, where you walk, where you stand, where you love, where you pray. All of life is holy ground. Every he, every she, every what, every who. It's in her, it's in them, it's in me, it's in you. In the bitter, in the sweet, in the calm, in the storm. All of life is holy ground. So walk as if it's holy ground. Breathe as if it's all around. Talk and make a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. When you hurt, when you heal, when you laugh, when you pray, when you hold and when you keep, when you give it away. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day. All of life is holy ground. So walk as if it's holy ground. Breathe as if it's all around. Talk and make a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. We are one journey, one story. we live. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place, everywhere. Where you walk, where you stand, where you love, where you pray. All of life is holy ground. All of life is holy ground.
God help us to make this new Shabbat. After noise we seek quiet. After crowds of indifferent strangers, we seek to touch those we love. After concentration on work and responsibility, we seek freedom to meditate, to listen to our inward selves. We open our eyes to the hidden beauties and the infinite possibilities in the world you are creating. We break open the reservoirs of goodness and kindness in ourselves and in others. We reach toward one holy, perfect moment of Shabbat.
We now continue with the singing of Lecha Dodi, Welcoming the Sabbath Bride, on page 138.
Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad, B'Shemu Tiferet B'lit Ilah. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabela. Hitoreri, Hitoreri, Kiva Ore, Kumi Ori, Uri, Uri, Shir Daberi, Kibod Adonai Alayim Nigla. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabela. Hoi v'shalom, Ateret ba'ala, Gam b'simcha, Utzahola, Toch emunei, Am segula, Boi chala, Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Dodi, Lekrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nikabela. Penei Shabbat Nikabela.
I would now like to invite the Rubin family to light the Shabbat candles for us this evening, which you may find on page 120.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all those who behold us. as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hails us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen, 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 amen.
Please rise if you are able for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 146. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due, now and forever.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Vaed.
Page 148.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaruo ma'arviv aravim, b'chachma poteach sha'arim, uvit vuna mashaneh hitim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakokavim, b'mishratecha baracheya kirtono.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Page 150.
Ahavat olam bid Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu bishachvenu uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratcha ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. יהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל.
We now continue our service with the most important of all Jewish prayers, the Shema. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. On page 152 and 153.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We now continue with the V'ahavta on page 154.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam laot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvish arecha.
Lama'an tiskuru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kidoshim le'elokechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emeth.
Miriam the prophet, strength and song are in her hand. Miriam will dance with us to swell earth's song. Miriam will dance with us to redeem the world. Soon in our day, she will bring us to the waters of redemption.
We now continue with the singing of Mi Chamocha, the song the Israelites sang when they crossed the Red Sea to freedom from Pharaoh's grip, on page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osef tele, Nora tehilot, osef tele, Adonai leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Ze Eli anu v'yamru, ze Eli anu v'yamru. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed.
Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
We now continue with the Hashkivenu prayer on page 160. The Hashkivenu prayer is really an important one for us this week. It talks about how God will shelter us with God's compassion and with God's peace, and how we live underneath God's umbrella. And so we think about how God is around us, supporting us, and helping us deal with whatever issues we face in our lives at this moment.
Yishivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom. V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Ufros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Continue with the singing of Vishamru. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the generations as a covenant for all time, on page 162.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beni uvein B'nei Yisrael, ori le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
We now rise, if we are able, for the next section of our service called the Tefillah on page 164.
Anananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tivta, Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tivta, Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Ananananana Adonai Ananananana Sfatai Tivta Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Ananananana Adonai Ananananana Sfatai Tivta Ananananana Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha.
Please turn to page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei hakol, v'zocher chazei avot v'imahot, umevi gula livnei v'neihem, l'ma'an shemo b'ahava. Melech ozer, u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen, Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah.
Page 168. Atagi bor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atarav lehoshia, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somet noflim berofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umchayim emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al gevurot, umido melech, melech memi, umchayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Page 170. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yehalu hachsela, Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated.
For the blessings which you lavish upon us in forest and sea, in mountain and meadow, in rain and sun, we thank you. For the blessings you implant within us, joy and peace, meditation and laughter, we are grateful to you. For the blessings of friendship and love, of family and community, for the blessings we ask of you, and those we cannot ask, for the blessings you bestow upon us openly, and those you give us in secret, for all these blessings we thank you and are grateful to you. For the blessings we recognize and those we fail to recognize, for the blessings of our tradition and of our holy days, for the blessings of return and forgiveness, of memory, of vision, and of hope. For all these blessings which surround us on every side, dear God, hear our thanks and accept our gratitude.
We continue with the singing of Shalom Rav, a song for peace, on page 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarich et Amcha Yisrael Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam.
Page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign once again within our borders. May health and happiness return to our homes. May we strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship between us and among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in all of our souls, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise to you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace, and may God bless our country with peace. Amen.
Let our lips sing the song that bursts from the heart, a song of love for those who are near, a song of cheer for the sick and needy, a song of friendship for the lost and lonely, a song of praise for you, O God. Hear the streams driving on the wind of song and prayers for the embattled countries, and people too downtrodden to sing their song or pray their prayers to you. O God, show compassion so each can sing a new song of hope in this troubled world.
We now continue our service with the Misha Beirach Get Well prayer on page 371. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. This evening we think in particular of Gina Rippon, Al Friedman, Ron Calabrero, Ellen Waldron, Danuta Zymak, Joanne Connell, Kim Major, Amanda Major, Lori Gordon. And at this time, if there are names of other loved ones you would like us to remember, you may say their names aloud or in your hearts. And we also think of all of those around our country and around the world who are suffering from this horrible corona disease, and we hope and wish and pray for their full and speedy recovery. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for all of their health to be restored and all of their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send all of them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen.
And bless us
We pause for a moment of silent prayer.
This is a song that we sing as part of the liturgy for every Shabbat service, but this is a different version from the one we usually do. It's a more lyrical version written by Jeff Klepper. The song is Say Shalom, a very important song, a very important prayer, meaning grant us peace. Say Shalom, Shalom bimromav, Say Shalom aleinu, V'al kol Yisrael, V'imru amen. Say Shalom aleinu, V'al kol Yisrael, Amen. Oh, say Shalom, Shalom bimromav, Say Shalom aleinu, V'al kol Yisrael, V'imru amen. V'al kol Yisrael, V'imru amen.
We now turn to page 586 for one of the concluding sections of our service called the Aleinu, which is a hope that the world will be brought together and united under God's values. Please rise.
Aleinu lishabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת. אין עוד.
And then all that has divided us will merge, and compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind, and both men and women will be gentle. And then both women and men will be strong, and then no person will be subject to another's will. And all will be rich and free and varied, and then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance, and then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young, and all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. אחד ושמו אחד. אחד ושמו אחד.
Kaddish is a prayer of praise for the goodness and the warmth that lingers in the world when those we love are gone. Teach me, God, to pray, to praise the splendor of ripe fruit, the wonder of a wrinkled leaf, the freedom to see, to feel, to breathe, to know, to hope, and even to know grief. Teach my lips blessings, song, and praise when you renew our time each night, each dawn, so that the days will not repeat my yesterdays, to save my life from the mere routine of days gone by.
We recall Eliza Major, who died during this past month, and we add to her name the names of those whose yard sites occur this week: David Schur, Tilly O'Day, Dorothy Kirstein, Ruth Lipman Suskind, Norma Cohen. And at this time, if there are names of others you would like us to keep in our hearts and our minds as we prepare to recite the Kaddish prayer, you may say their names aloud or in your hearts. And we also recall the hundreds of thousands of who have died and are continuing to die from the COVID disease around our country and around the world. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. Please rise and embody your spirit to recite the Kaddish prayer on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabbah, ba'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach l'olam l'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudashah b'richu, L'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, d'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. O say shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to our country, to all Israel and all the world, and let us say together, Amen. You may be seated. We now continue with the Kiddush on page 123, rise if you are able, and that will be followed by the Motzi, the blessing over the bread.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, באהבה וברצון הנחילנו. זיכרון למעשה וראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחילתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together, as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz,
Friends help each other find the courage to get through everything, from rough days to life-changing decisions. Our shared laughter and fun put matters into perspective, even in the bleakest moments, and we encourage each other to take the steps in life that are right for us. We may first learn from our friends that we are valuable human beings. Through them, we are emboldened with humor and confidence, and when we need that extra nudge to go in the right direction, we can count on our friends to get behind us and push.
So I hope you have gotten a little solace and comfort and maybe a little renewed strength and energy from our Shabbat service this evening. And may we enjoy this as a Shabbat of peace. And when Shabbat is over, may we face the new week with a renewed sense of strength, energy, courage, and purpose, and with a hope for a brighter future for our country and all of us. Shabbat Shalom. We conclude our service with the singing of a very timely song by Noah Aronson called Let There Be Love.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu L'Shalom, L'Ha'amidenu Shomrenu L'Chayim, Ufros Aleinu Suhukat Shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu L'Shalom, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu L'Shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.